Hey, how's everybody doing? Listen, I was racing against the clock because I was like, I really want to get this out, and I'm tired. I got stuff going on, but I had a blessed day, really good time in worship today. It was our youth Sunday, but and I said, I want to be solid as a rock, and coincidentally, that's what our lesson is kind of talking about. It's titled "An Important Role." It's coming from First Peter 2, chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. It's going to be a brief one, but go make sure you read through the scriptures. Coming out of the R.H. Boyd books, which I really enjoy, their Sunday school series. So, lesson starts out, it says, buildings are made of different materials, brick, concrete, steel, wood, synthetic materials. And as I was reading that first part in the intro, I started thinking about the three little pigs, how they had the three different houses, straw, sticks, and then bricks. But in any case, a house has to have a strong foundation. Without a strong foundation, it's going to tumble over. You know, in older buildings, they used to have a material, they used to have something called a cornerstone. And a cornerstone was basically the strongest part of the building. It was a support, it was a foundation. And our lesson is talking about Jesus being the cornerstone. Matter of fact, it's a stone that the builders refused. So, and we start talking lessons talking about kind of having a spiritual house. Your spiritual house rests on that chief cornerstone, which is Jesus. So, in the scriptures, First Peter chapter 2 verses 1 through 3, the writer is saying, or Peter saying, rid yourselves therefore of all malice and all guile, insincerity, envy, and all slander. These are vices. The King James Version says all malice and guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings. These are things, these type of vices, these types of negative things are things that bring us down, and they bring everybody down. Though I like the way the lesson, it calls them communal type of, community type of things. They're community driven. These are these types of vices, these types of things, malice, guile, insincerity, envy, slander. These are things that affect more than one person. They can affect a whole lot of people. So that's something that we have to remove of, because things like that can spread like a wildfire. Really cause a lot of damage and affect a lot of people who are trying to live right. So that's a bad example. So, verse 2 says, like newborn infants, long for pure spiritual milk, so that by it you may grow into salvation. Verse 3, if indeed you have tasted that the Lord is good. So once you come into the knowledge of God and you understand, who God is, you should want that stuff removed away from you. You're a new person. The Bible talks about being a new man, putting away childish things. You want to have some growth. All right. So, another way to think about it too, as I was looking at these different things, especially when it mentions spiritual milk, I said, you are what you eat. And if you think about that, it's like, you are what I eat. I guess I'm a hamburger. Well, think about it though. What you put in, what you intake, becomes a part of you, and not just with regular food, but the other things we delve into. We delve into gossip and, backbiting and all these different things. That's kind of what becomes who we are. That makes us up. So when we remove those things and we replace them with godly things, then that's who we become. So in the next section, verses 4 through 8, Peter's, talking about, come to him a living stone, though rejected by mortals, yet chosen and precious in God's sight. God gave us, he loved us so much that he gave us his only begotten son. I like verse 6, it says, see, I am laying in Zion a stone, a cornerstone chosen and precious, and whosoever believes in him will not be put to shame. So Jesus is that cornerstone, that foundation, that support that we're looking at and that we're trusting in. So believe in the cornerstone, believe in Jesus. And the stone builders in verse 7, they rejected. To you then who believe, he is precious, but for those who do not believe, the stone that the builders rejected has become the very head of the corner. So that's basically referring to people who rejected Jesus. Did you know Jesus wasn't accepted in his own hometown? And how often, that's often true today for, for us. A lot of times people who quote unquote know us and know where we're from, they won't believe in us to be in something great. They think we're just, nah, he's from here, we know him. But Jesus wasn't even accepted in his own hometown. So the lesson just is kind of getting us to understand, understanding that once you accept Jesus, now you are able to be called God's property. You become, you have a name now. You belong to God. Verse 10, I'll jump ahead. It says, once you were not a people, but now you're God's people. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. So that's awesome. We're a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's own people. So that, we're going to get rejected. But if we're following after God, we're following after Jesus as that cornerstone, we're good. We're good. We have to continue to do that. But it doesn't mean putting away all those vices, all those negative, things that were there before. So we're called to grow in grace, and we ought to fervently hunger for the spiritual milk of the word. So in doing so, we will rid ourselves from the vices of malice, envy, guile, and insincerity. And also this will result in a stronger community of saints, one built on Jesus Christ. So who's a cornerstone. So that's it for now. This is really bite-sized, but I definitely wanted to make a post here on today. So listen, love you. Like, subscribe, make a comment if you have a question or a comment or whatever. So y'all take care. See you next time. Bye.